Hi and welcome to Python tutorial of advanced puzzle game. Okay, right here we do have a winner. And here it shows the number of clicks, just something like this there. So what I'm going to do now is I'm going to refresh and start all over. So let's see if we can get this one sorted as well. There we go. And there. So let's just kind of like speed it up a little bit. We have 9 there. Let's get 5 on board. There we go, we're almost there now. So there we have another winner after 82 clicks. So what I'm going to do now is I'm going to take you guys straight into Python development environment, and we put one of these together. So let's exit out and select new, and there. So first of all, let's import as follows. Import, I'm going to go for the random. Let's say random. We're going to need that for the random number generator. And I'm also going to import time, and I will then import, let's say from ticking time, import it all there with a star. Let's increase the size of the font so that you guys can see it much better. Come right here and make it maybe about 14. Yeah, I think that'll do. Click on OK there. Alright, come right down here and let's go for root. That is going to be my class. Enter parentheses and come right down here. Let me say root.geometry, and that is going to be 1350 by 750, and we say plus 0 plus 0. So that means the whole thing is going to start from right up here. Okay, let's give it a title as well. Come right down here and just say root.title. And the title is, I'm just going to call that puzzle game. Alright, that's my title, but that should be in a quotes. There. And finally, I'm going to define the background, root.configure, and that is going to be my background. The background is going to be cadet blue. So, and that is equals cadet blue. I'll make that uppercase. There we go. Right. I'm also going to kind of like round it up. So let's just say root dot bin loop, enter parentheses. So I'm going to save it. Let's go to file, save as. So we'll save that as a puzzle game. So right in here, I'm going to kind of like call it py_puzzle. Yeah, that's good enough. Click on save. There. Okay, we can even try it out. I'm going to click on run. And let's see. There we go. That's our framework. It's ready. So exit out of that and exit. So now, what I then want to do is I'm going to create some frames. The first part of the frames, I'm just going to call that top, as you guys can see. Then enter the widget. That's the frame. This frame is going to be a chart of the root, which is the main part of the project. And let's say BG, the background color of that one is going to be cadet blue as well. So just grab hold of this and paste that right in there. Now, comma, let's get it padded. And I'm going to just make that about 2, comma, then width of it I'm going to make the width 1350, comma, by, let's say the height, that is going to be approximately 100, comma, and relief, I'm going to make that rigid in uppercase. There we go. There we go. Now let's get it rounded up. Come right here and just say tops dot grade, and that is going to be rule equals 0, column, that will be equal 0 as well. Close that. Okay, so let's just correct this error that I made here. That should have been relieved there, and let's run it now. Let's see how that's gonna look like. You might not be able to see the tops that I just created, but if I change this color here, you should be able to see it. So let's just say we'll get rid of cadet blue and just leave it as blue, and you guys will see what I'm talking about. And there we go. So I'm going to just get rid of that for now, leave it as cadet blue, undo. Now the next thing I want to do is, in there, I might as well just enter my title right here. So let's come right down here and just say space LBL title, and that is going to be equals label, and this very label is going to be a child of tops, comma, and the font, I'm going to make the font approximately, okay, let's go for area first, as area, and the size is going to be approximately 80, comma, and I'm going to make that bold. Close that, comma, and the text that I'm going to enter in there, I'm just going to call that maybe something, I'm going to go for advanced. I'm calling it advanced because of the various method that I'm going to be using, which is going to include the click calculator. There we go. So advanced, pause the game, come out of it and say comma BG, that is going to be, let's say, about 10, comma, of BD border, and the background color, I'm going to make the background color itself cadet blue. Okay, so that will make life easy a little bit, cadet blue. And the font color, let's come down here and just say FG, that will be equals, let's say Conselect. There, I think, yeah, that's it, Conselect. Or you can use white, then comma, that's kind of like a milky color, so I'm going to ask the system to kind of like get it centered, justify, that will be center. Close that. And finally, I'm going to wrap this up. So let's say label dot grid is going to be 0 by 0. Row is 0, column is 0. There. Okay, I think a bracket is missing right here, so let's close that. Now I'm going to try this out. Let's go to run and see how that's going to look like. There we go, look at that. Alright, exit out. Now the next thing I'm going to do is I'm going to create another frame. Let's come copy that, paste that underneath here. I'm going to call that main frame. And main frame here as well. There we go. And inside main frame, that's going to be root as well. And the role for that is going to be role number 1, column 0. Okay, right there. Let's change the back color of that to powdered blue. Alright, and I'm going to say the BG, get rid of this, and no, BG, that is going to be equals 10. There. The width, that's fine. The height, make it about 600, and that is fine. And here, that's fine as well. Okay, let's say comma, get a padded X, and that will be about 30. Right. Okay, let's try this out now. So let's go to run. There we go. Yeah, that's how it's looking. Okay, the next thing I'm going to do now is in here I'm going to create another frame. So maybe I should just copy this and change things around. Copy this very one, paste it right here, and I'm going to call this frame, let's say left frame, and this one is left frame as well. And left frame is a child of mainframe. Grab mainframe, paste it right here. And the position of the left frame, I'm going to just say, let's get it packed. Dot pack. That is going to be side. It will be to the left. There. Okay, for the left frame, I'm now going to need powdered blue. Let's cut that off, and that is going to be 10. Let's change this to about 700, and the height, I'm going to make that about 500, and I'm going to get it parted to the y-axis, and that is going to be maybe about 2, comma. Now, okay, if this is powdered blue, let's change the back color of it to cadet blue. So I'm going to grab hold of this and just paste it right here. There. Okay, I think that might be right. So let's come in here, run, and let's see how that looks like. That is beautiful. Okay, now I'm going to just copy and speed up the whole process and get back to you guys shortly. Right there, guys, I've finished with the design of the frame, so let's try it out. Have a good look at the lines of code though. There. So that's how the whole interface looks now. This would be for the number counter, and here for reset, and here that would be just the message box. While over here we have all my buttons in place, so exit out. Okay guys, now let's declare some variables here. The very first one, I'm going to call that number of clicks. There, and number of clicks, I'm going to make the value, make that 0. Then I will also create another one. I'll call it display clicks, and that is going to be a string variable. Now the value that will be inside the display string, okay, we set that value as let's say display clicks. Grab that, come right down here. I'm going to say dot set, and what I'm setting in there, I'm going to just call it number of clicks, and I'll say plus. Now let's enter carriage return plus again, and that is going to be number of clicks, but we will have to convert this to a string character. So let's come right down here and just say convert that to a string character. There we go. Now we need to close this here. There we go. All right, now let's come down here and declare another variable. So the other variable, I'm just going to call that, let's say, game state. This, and right there we enter game state string, and that will be equals as follows. Now let's declare a function in here. And this very function, I'm going to call it, let's call that update counter, parenthesis, there. An update counter, I'll declare two global variables in there. The first one, that's going to be number of clicks. This very one, grab that, paste that here. Number of clicks, comma, and I will also enter display clicks in there. So they will be used as global variables there. Now, let's say display clicks dots. I'm going to grab hold of all of these. Just grab hold of this. I'm going to paste that right in here. There. So what will happen in this function is this will be displaying the number of clicks. If this is going to display the number of clicks, why this initialize, I'm going to change this one here to, let's change this to 0. Just get rid of everything in there and just change that to 0. So at the initial stage it will just show 0 value. Okay, that's alright. Alright, why this shows the number of clicks, so that is fine. Now let's say declare another function. So underneath here I'm going to say function game states update, and in that case let's give it a parameter. The parameter is going to be known as game state there, and the game state is going to be, let's say, global game state string there. Now for this game state string, let it display whatever we have inside this parameter. So I'm going to copy this, paste it right underneath here, and now I'm going to say dot string, and that'll be dot sets state. There we go. Okay, that is done. Now the important part of it, let's create the buttons. So right here I'm going to create a class. Let's say class buttons. Okay, and this class button will take in the following. So class button, let's declare a function in there. So the function, let's say underscore initialize underscore self, comma, text underscore, comma, let's say taking those parameter x and y there. Now self dot value, let's just call that maybe enter value, and that is going to be equals text. Okay, that's the first one. Now the next one we say self dot text, and that will be equals, that's a variable that will be string character, and this string character variable is going to take in the following value. So let's just say instead of self.text, okay, let's say text entered or text taken, so this text taken now is going to take whatever value we have in here. So we'll come right down here, paste that in there. So we say text taken dot set text underscore and close that. Okay, now let's say self dot x equals x, and self dot y, that will be equals y as well. Now I'm going to then create a button, and let's say self dot btn number. Okay, btn number, that will be equals widget button, and that will take in, that will be inside my left frame. Where is that? That's my left frame there. Grab the whole of that and come right down here and just paste it right there, and enter a comma. Then we say text variable that is equals self dot text taken, this one. Grab hold of that and just paste it right in here, comma. And what about the font? I'm going to make the font, let's go for area as well. I have one up here, I'm just going to copy it, grab hold of this font, come right down here and just paste it right there. Font is going to be area and the size is 80. Okay, that's cool. I'm going to make that bold, and let's say comma, or maybe we should just leave it up as plain. Yeah, that's fine. If we require it, or if it's needed, then we can make it bold. So let's put a border of about 3 there, comma. Now I'm going to come down here because I need enough room. Let's say command, that will be equals lambda, using lambda function in this case to help us out. Lambda function, that will be I equals self dot x, comma, j equals self dot y. Okay, say column, check out the empty spot checker. So empty spot checker, I haven't defined that, but I'm going to create that. So let's say empty spot checker, and the empty spot checker takes in I and J there. I'm going to round up this button first, so let's grab hold of this, come right down here, paste that there, and let's just say dot place x equals self dot x pointing to or multiply by 150 comma y equals self dot 150 as well. There should be a y here, there. And I'm now going to define the width. Let's say comma width. That will be about, let's make that 170, comma height, we make that 170 as well. Okay, so let's create another method. So let's come right down here, and that is going to be for the shuffle. Let's say def, and I'm going to call that shuffle. There, and enter parenthesis and column there. Oh, I'm missing column here, and I'm missing column here as well. Right. Okay, so the next thing is, let's get hold of my global variable that I intend to use in there. I might as well just copy these ones and come right down here and just paste. Get it indented, else we might end up with an error. So I'm now going to declare another that is going to be an array. This array, I'm going to be using it for the shuffling. So let's say x in range 12, because I have 12 buttons, and x that will be plus equals 1, and if x equals 12, then we want the following to happen. Number, let's say numbers. Do I have numbers here? That should have been numbers. Numbers, and that will get appended, dot append. That will be nothing. Else, let's get it indented. Numbers dot append, that will be converted to string, and that will be x, and close that again. Now let's use another for loop. So for y in range, I would like you to lean the following. So whatever you're leaning, that's going to be the button, this very one. So let's just say button x, okay, that will be representing that. Button s, close that, and that is just a different argument on its own. For y equals range, I would like you to get that leaned, and I'll say for x in range, let's grab hold of this, that would be for y. Okay, let's get it lean, and the y will be an array in there. Close that. There. Nope. There we go. Now, number, okay, let's say number, that will be equals random dot choice, and btn numbers, we're taking the value that comes within the array, and that of the x-axis as well. on that of the X value, I mean dot text taken dot set number dot set num. So now say nums dot remove num. Okay, in that case we now get the number clicks. Let's see, where is it? It's right here. I'm going to get hold of the number of clicks, and the value this time around which is going to be 0. So let's come right in here and just paste that in there. Paste. That will be equals 0. And update. We also need the update counter. Update counter there, and game states, that will be update, that will be empty. There we go. All right, save that. Okay, so we are almost there. I noticed something here. Look at this. That should have been, that was an error when I was correcting this. Okay, if I run it now, nothing is going to happen more than it will just show the layouts just like it was before, but we are very close now. Okay, let's do one thing, and in here I'm going to enter display the label, a button here, and a label that will display message here. So let's do that. So I'm going to come right down here now. Okay, I'm going to say LBL, no, LBL. Let's call that counter or display. Oh, that's for my counter, so I can call it display clicks, or LBL display clicks, and that will be a label. Now LBL display clicks is going to be inside the right frame 1, this very one. Okay, paste that in here, comma, and get hold of the text. I'm going to get hold of this, paste that here, and I want the text in there to be display clicks, this very one. Paste that right in there. Okay, enter a comma. What about the font? We can make the font about 40. So let's grab hold of this, paste that there. Okay, font, let's just round it up, dot, place x equals, let's make that 0, comma, and y, that will be equals about 10, comma. What about the width? The width, we can make that, okay, let's see, I'm going to grab a hold of all of these, paste that in here, and close that. Alright, so let's see how that's going to look. That's LBL, let's see. Yeah, that's fine. Let's move this in a little bit. We can always change things around if it doesn't work. Now, let's run that and see. Oh, look at that. Alright, almost there. So let's come back in here and increase the width to maybe about 400. I'm going to make that about 480. Okay, 480. And let's run that again. Run. Alright, the font seems to be too large for this. Okay, that should be 40. Let's make that 40. Do that again. Run. Okay, look at that. That's nice. And that height, change that to about 60, 160. Okay, that's fine. Let's run again. Run. Brilliant. Okay then, that's good. Close that. And here the display. Let me just take care of the display. I'm gonna copy this again. Copy and paste it right underneath here. And as for that, that is meant to be just to display the winning score. Okay, for the display, I want that to be inside frame number 2B. And that is going to be game, yeah, game states. Game state string right here, paste that in there. I'm going to just press enter here so that you guys can see it properly. Press enter. Yeah, why not? And in here I'm going to reduce this to about 100. Yeah, I think that will do. Let's run it and see. Run. Okay, let's see what happened. Take that back. Let's run it again. Alright, right there. Okay, that is fine. Now I'm going to do one thing, just kind of like move it all in a little bit so that you guys can see it, or maybe reduce the font size. Alright, that's fine. You can see it now. Okay, now the next thing is I'm going to add a button. So maybe let's just take a shortcut again. I'm going to copy this button and I will just change it around. Just grab hold of this, come right in here, paste the button here, and that very button is meant to be to shuffle the numbers. I'm just going to call it shuffle, BTN shuffle. Okay, that's the button, and it's going to be inside frame number 1. Yeah, right frame 2A. There we go. Change that to A. Text content and needs, we just change that to something new or whatever. That'll be equals new game. Right, and change this to 40. There. BG, I'm gonna make that about 5 and bring this in. I now need a shuffle. That is the shuffler there. Yeah, get hold of the shuffle and get rid of all of these. Get rid of everything here. Paste the shuffle there. There. Right, now let's define width for it. So I'm just gonna say copy this, paste it here, and the width is going to be okay, let's make this 100 as well. Move this in and this in a little bit more. Okay, but I don't think you can see it yet, so let's just press enter here so you can see the command button properly. Okay, I'm going to now run it since we have enough room. So let's run. We should be able to see that button in there, in that very frame. There we go, look at that. Okay, it's taking shape, so I'm gonna exit out. If I dare click on it now, there will be an error because it's not finished yet. Alright, the next thing we now want to do, I'm going to come right down here, and I want to call buttons, the array buttons. Paste that right here. Array buttons, and name that will be equals nothing for now. So I'm now going to use a for loop here. So let's say for, let's grab hold of this. Let's paste it right underneath. For y in range 3, so that's going to be the arrangement. So we would then say btn numbers underscore equals array. Now another for loop for x. Let's grab hold of x. There. For x, that would be equals 4. The row will be 4. Okay, or the column. Yeah, column. And the name, that would be plus equals 1. Now if name equals 12, then the other one should be empty, and name equals nothing. That's the last button, that will be empty. And btn num, indent btn numbers underscore dot append button underscore string name, comma x, comma y. There. Then btn number dot append, and what are we appending? That will be the number dot append. Open a bracket and grab hold of this. There we go. So that is fine. Okay, let's enter a column here, and there ought to be an equals there as well. Alright, I'm going to try it out, but I think let's cover this first. Let's try it out. We should be able to see numbers on the buttons. So let's come in here first and save that. Run. There we go. The numbers appears, but if I dare click on any of them, there will be an error. Okay, because remember the empty spot checker, that very function, I'm going to take care of that right now. So let's come down here. Where's the empty spot checker? That is it right there. Grab hold of that. Now let's create the function empty spot checker. So right here, I'm going to say function empty spot checker, that will be y, comma x, close that. There. And let's enter a global variable there. Grab hold of this and just paste it there. There we go. And using an if statement, if not, btn numbers, the array is x, or the array is y, dot text second dot get. That will be equals empty. Enter column. Now use another for loop for I in range minus 1, no, minus 1 comma 2. Let's say new x, okay, equals x plus I. Now if, let's say if not the new x less than 0, or len btn number minus 1 less than new x, or I equals 0. Enter column there. Let's save that. It's now finished yet. I just don't want to mess things up. Okay, let's just speed up the empty spot checker. There we go. Okay, so have a good look at the lines of code for the empty spot checker. Okay, so I'm going to try it out with these lines of code of the empty spot checker. It should work. And yeah, let's run it. Have a good look at the lines of code again before I run it. Okay, bring it right down. There, and there we go. There. Okay, let's run it now and see. Run. There we go, guys. Although the numbers are arranged accordingly. Okay, look at that. Now I don't want the number. I actually want it shuffled, though there will be some errors. Okay, let's close that. Alright, I want it shuffled. Let's call the shuffler. That's it right there. Grab hold of that. I'm just gonna come right down here between, just right above the empty spot checker. Place the shuffler there and come right there. Let's run it again. There, look at that. Brilliant. Okay, just one more function to take care of, and that will be all. And that is the win check, the one that will check who is winning. Alright, close that and come right down here. And right underneath here, I'm going to say def win check, define win check, there. And let's say lost, that is going to be boolean false for y in range. Let's len buttons, btn buttons, open up your bracket, btn numbers, numbers, close that, there. Now use another for loop for the x-axis. For, let's just copy all of these and paste it there. Copy, paste, and change that to x. For x in range of the button, and that should be an array there. The y will be as an array. Okay, yeah, I think that's correct. X in range, that's correct. Okay, now let's use an if statement. Okay, grab hold of this. Yeah, grab hold of that. We change the other one to come right down here, paste if button array y and array x. dot enter value not equals to button numbers y and x dot text taken dot get there. Then we now say lost equals true. In that case, break. Now another if statement. If not lost, then I want you to display a winning message. Come right down. So say game states updates, and we say, let's just say you are a winner. I think there should be enough space, enough room for that. You are a winner. Let's see if there's not enough room, we'll reduce that. Okay. Yeah. So let's try this out now. Okay, let's see. Just going to try it out. Take it up. Have a good look at the lines of codes. Bring it down. And down. There. And down. There we go, before I run it. Okay, so let's run. Click on run. And let's see what's going to happen. So click on that, click on OK. And there we go, look at that. Alright, you see that, guys? That is beautiful. Okay, so this is how it all works. So let's see if the winning tag that I have in there, if it works. So I'm going to kind of like exit out. Let's go into the code, and I'm going to comment the shuffler out for now. So come right there, let's click on run. There. Bring this down and take it back up. There we go, look at that. It's working as we want. You see that? So that is brilliant. So I'm going to put back or replace or delete the comments. Now run it one more time. There we go, guys. So with that, guys, I'm going to call it the end of this beautiful tutorial. I suppose you guys enjoy it, and please do subscribe to my channel. You can also join to become a member of the channel. So you all have a nice day now, and bye for now.